What's up, witches? Luna here for a Monday unboxing of a tarot deck, and I already have you zoomed in on this deck because it's a mini, and it is the Tarot of the New Vision. So this is going to go along with the Vice Versa Tarot and the Tarot of Revelations and the Before Tarot and the After Tarot and the In-Between Tarot. These are reimaginings of the standard Waite-Smith. So this is Tarot of the New Vision by Los Scarabeo. It's in this lovely little two-part linen, can you see the texture there? Linen finish box. Los Scarabeo has definitely upped its game with packaging. And I know that I almost bought mini decks like 10 years ago, and I know they were in regular tuck boxes at the time, so I really do appreciate this packaging. Tarot of the New Vision by Pietro Aligo, artwork by Raul and Gianluca Sestaro. 78 tarot cards with instructions. We have the flags of all the languages that are included. $13.95 in the US. Black inside. Ooh, you can really see the linen there. Yes. Here's our book. And there's the Los Scarabeo facing card. As usual, here are the backs. I'm having trouble with the focus today. There we go. So we have Knight of Cups on the back, and they are non-directional, which means you can reverse them. So we take this Los Scarabeo. This is the one that I think that has the invitation to Tarosophy. No, it doesn't. What do you know? Oh, and looky in the bottom here, we've got the little scarab. Then we have the Tarot of the New Vision card. So we have two blocking cards, always appreciated. And then we have the Fool, and I feel like I need to zoom you in a little bit more. There, I don't even need to edit that out. Okay. So here's the Fool, and you can see that we are looking at these cards not face on with the characters. We are looking in the same direction they're looking. So we see their back and we see what they are looking at. And the Fool, holy moly. Okay, so here's the Fool at the edge of the cliff, and he's looking at an erupting volcano. I'm not sure what I'm supposed to take from that. Wow. I mean, that just brings a whole nother something to it, doesn't it? And here's the Magician. And interestingly, we see the Magician is actually performing for a crowd of people, and we see a little monkey behind him holding on to his robe. Here's the High Priestess. And we see her acolytes behind the veil. Look at the veil coming down. She's looking out on the ocean and a crescent moon, and there's the pomegranate and the owl. Here's the Empress with a couple naked kids behind her, playing with the swan, because apparently they don't know that swans will kill you. All right, there's a cushion with Venus symbols all over it. She's looking out of an open gate, and we see a path winding up to a mountain. So what is she looking at? You know, I think I'm going to go to the book, because I'm not expecting a lot of information, because of course this has English, Italian, Spanish, French, Portuguese, and Russian in it. I don't know why Los Scarabeo, I think they used to have German in their books, and I don't understand why they don't anymore, and why you would have Spanish and Portuguese that are so close to each other. Okay, so yeah, there is zero information. The figures of this deck were inspired by the Rider-Waite-Smith Tarot, designed and described by renowned English occultist Arthur Edward Waite for blah blah blah. This tarot, without a doubt, is most famous in the world. Okay, the first time the images created by Smith were designed by rotating the perspective 180 degrees. The figures no longer seen from the front, rather from the back. What the depicted figures have in front of them or behind them can therefore be discovered depending on the angle. This is not simply a figurative peculiarity, but an ulterior extension of meanings. Some symbolic elements, where possible, were also added in order to come closer to the traditional symbols. Okay, but the only thing we have, so we are looking here at the Empress card. It says intelligence, advice, fertile woman. So we understand the fertile woman part. The intelligence part, I don't know how that's depicted here. And advice, I don't know how that's depicted here. With the Fool, we had unpredictability, revelations, and solitary trips. So we don't have like innocence and naivete and all that. The Magician says dexterity, original ideas, and the High Priestess says mysteries, occult studies. So we are getting no new information from the book, which makes me sad. You know, if we're making decisions to turn things 180 degrees to get a new perspective, I want to know what that new perspective is, and I want to see it depicted. All right, let's just keep going. Here's the Emperor. Wow. Okay, so we're seeing the back of his throne where we see like a relief carving of the Emperor, so he's still kind of facing us. So the Emperor knows all, sees all. Stability, resolution, protective man, and there's a tortoise behind him and a bunch of people in front. Okay. Here's the Hierophant. We also see the back of his throne where his image has been depicted. And we've got a couple acolytes, snake and dove, and okay. Here's the Lovers. And we see the angel from the back. That's kind of interesting because, wow, all right. The Chariot. I don't know who these people are following the Chariot. Strength. And we've got this like colossal figure carved out of a mountain and a dragon in the clouds. Okay, so strength, something that lasts for a long time. The ability to carve stone, I don't know. Here's the Hermit. Not much change there except we see a snake crawling up towards him. Wheel of Fortune is merely the image from the back. Justice. So we have two women and a baby in a basket. Why do I keep looking when I know there's nothing there? Just because I'm curious. Okay. Level-headedness, justice, inevitability. See, that's interesting because I usually see the Judgment card as having that Plutonian inevitability about it. Okay, well, there we go. The Scales, the Hanged Man. Look at all these people screaming at him. And you see the light around his head. So I guess, you know, really being able to keep your cool when everything's coming at you. Here's the Death card, just from the other side. Temperance. So really, there's not a lot of new information here. There's this big tower. Looks like it's a small tower because something next to it looks like a vase. I don't know. The Devil. There's the tower. And there's an apple tree and a snake. So is this the fall of Adam and Eve? Here's the star. We see a lit torch here, and we see more of her booty, and we see somebody going away with a full pack. The Moon. You know, it's confusing. Well, I guess if we're seeing it from that side, all right. Let's just go. The Sun. Naked baby bouncing. Judgment. The World. And now we have the Ace of Cups. So it's just the hands coming in from the other side. We see a couple kids playing in the water. There's the 2, the 3, the 4. Look at the winged horse coming in. Wow. The 5, there's a couple other people walking away, so that really brings home the loss. We've got water flowing down a mountain. That could talk about like an emotional drain. or flowing emotions. Six of Cups. So it looks like there's a mother and father, grandmother and grandfather that are in spirit, is what I see. They look like they're part of the sky. So that kind of adds something. Here's the Seven of Cups. And look at, looking at all these cups, this one's going, oh, and this one's going, oh. So it kind of shows you there's hopes and fears there. Here's the Eight. Look at the fireworks going off. I'm having a hard time seeing this person's face. Guess very disappointed face, walking away from the party, maybe. Here's the Nine of Cups. Kids hiding behind the table, playing and eating. And there's the Ten of Cups. The Page. The Knight. I sure hope my microphone is not picking up the Beatles that my son is playing in his room, or else I'll get flagged. Here's the Knight of Cups. And the Queen. We do have some images on the throne that we can look at, and the King. So again, like with the Hierophant and the Emperor, we can see the image of the king carved on the back of his throne. Look at this. He's looking at like, oh, you know what that is? So here's water and a fish leaping out of the water, and then there's this mountain with what looks like the ark on top of it. Now we have Pentacles. There's a castle. Two of Pentacles. We've got sheep and a big bird. The Three. The Four. Okay, now the what I'm also curious about, I want to go to Italian. And there's no more information in the Italian section. This is where I really wish that LS would invest in more information to come with the decks, because I really want to know about the thought processes that go on. Here's Five of Pentacles from people inside. The Six. The Seven, again, we've got a spirit like swooping through the skies, and I guarantee you it's not going to tell us anything about that. The Seven. Business, trade, worries. And it goes swooping through the air. Then we have the Eight. So, what I'm going to do here is just, so here's the apprentice learning just the very basics, and then there's the master. Is certainly go intuitively with these and see what these added images add, if anything. There's the 9, there's the 10. Page. Looking at kind of a temple. The Knight. The Queen. And we see her carved on the back of her throne, and the King. Ace of Wands. The 2. The 3. So he's got, all right, so if you look at like the ships going out, as the ships that the Three of Pentacles is looking at, or the ships going out, or Three of Wands, sorry, when we turn it around, we see these wagons coming towards. So are the wagons bringing goods that are going to get loaded onto ships and sent out? That's what I'm getting from that. Here's the Four of Wands. Now you see all the other people that are at the party. The 5. 6. There's a lot of birds. Lots of birds in the cards. And we've got the 7. So you see the angry faces of the people carrying the wands that are coming at them. Here's the 8. Boy, that's interesting. There's an angel with an arrow or a spear. These wands are coming in. People walking away, and the angel's kind of ready to throw this on the opposite direction as those wands. Okay, here's the 9. With the bear. Ooh, yeah, protection. Here's the 10. People working in the fields. Page. The Knight in the desert. The Queen with like an old woman and a young woman behind the throne. Again, an image of her carved on the back like the King. King of Wands. There's the couple, and then there's a lion. And now we have the swords. and the horse standing there. There's the 3. Look at the rain, the people dispersing. The 4, so it shows a couple people mourning at this grave, or this funeral, whatever it is. That looks less like an effigy and more like someone lying in state. There's the 5. Something's been destroyed. The 6. 7. 8. More birds. 9. Ooh, look at the demon coming in. That adds. The 10. Page. Knight. Yaha. Queen. And king. With an infant behind the throne. There's a couple and an infant. Naked. And a sword. Yikes. All right, well, let's zoom out. Okay. All zoomed out again. I'm not even going to try to riffle shuffle this deck because I know how that goes with this size of deck, and it's too easy to bend the cards. What I might do is riffle shuffle, half of the deck. I'm going to light my charcoal first, though. And let's give this a bit of a blessing. Blessing of the elements. Air and fire. For purification and charging. And then we have water and earth to bless and make whole, and we have the bell for spirit. And we have gratitude to my guides and guardians, allies and ancestors for being with me every single one of these unboxings and every single day of my life. I appreciate you no end. I offer you fresh water. I offer you the fire of Azrael. May the spirit of divination be awakened in this deck. So mote it be. All right, let's split these in half. It's too bad that the box is linen finish, but the deck isn't. That kind of bums me out. Linen decks like that are very resilient. They're really bendable, but they're really tough too, I have found. Okay, and now we take half and half this way. And please don't hear that playing in the background. Please, please, please. I have no flags on my channel, and I don't want any. All right. I might do a cut and pick with this so I don't have to shuffle all that much. But we are going with our standard question because this is a deck that I have purchased. And that is, how do we... And you know what else I noticed? Nowhere there are no reverse meanings for any of these. Okay. I don't read reverses typically anyhow, but... And with decks like the vice versa, the reverses are part of the whole thing. When you have the deck, vice versa tarot has an image on both sides, and there's this side and that side is kind of like a reversal. So when you're shuffling them, you have to turn, flip cards side to side, but then you get really full meanings for those other sides. But this has 0, 0, 0. So standard question, back to that. How do we go from stuckness? Let's ask about stuckness today. How do we go from stuckness and or a sense that we are merely surviving into thriving? And that's the same question really, because we start feeling stuck when we're not engaged with the things in life that bring us joy, right? Like, the things we love to do. And sometimes we do get stuck when we're doing things that we love to do, but it's kind of because we've disengaged for one reason or another. So how do we move from survival mode into reclaiming our attention and our power, moving out of stagnation into full engagement again with life and the things that we love about it. All right, I'm just going to stop. Let's just go from the top. And I didn't look at the end of the book to see if we have any. No, we do not. The cards of meditation, it says. Look at it carefully. Shuffle the tarot card several times, and when you feel ready, choose one card only. Look at it carefully. Think about its meaning. Place it back in the deck. Note the chosen card in a diary or in an appointment book. In the same diary, write how the day went. People met, enthusiasm received, wrongs experienced, or if nothing at all happened. Compare these events with the card chosen in the morning. In a short time, the deck will truly be yours. It will be like a trustworthy friend, and you'll be able to understand even its most subtle meanings. If you're an impressionable person, pick the card, but don't look at it. Put it in an envelope or in a safe place. During the day, think positively about the card. In the evening, look at it and compare it with the day you had. Wow. Okay, so there are no readings recommended here, and they're telling me 3 cuts, and then the card off the top of each pile. We have the 6 of Cups, we have the 9 of Cups, and we have the King of Wands. Okay, let's put these back together. So, in light of the question, how do we do this? Well, 6 of Cups talks about memories and nostalgia and looking back. And I think one of the ways that we do is just to reach out, and this is where, okay, I get a whole nother meaning from this, an added meaning, because I still have the 6 of Cups nostalgia. You get the idea from the standard image. The older child is handing something literally down to a younger child. So this is memories, traditions, stories, and things passed down. But in this one, we have these 2 kind of transparent people in spirit. So for this, I would say that we remember that we don't have to do this all on our own, that we have guides and guardians and allies and ancestors. Every single one of us does. And we can reach out to them to ask for support, to ask for their help throughout our day. Then 9 of Cups. All right, let's go to the book. Why not? 9 of Cups just says well-being. That's it. No wish card, no anything. So what else can we do? We can play. We can enjoy food. We can look at the place where we have all of our cups full, where we're feeling fulfilled, feeling a sense of well-being. And then the King of Wands says, entrepreneur, honesty, friendliness. I'm taking a hit on him, and we get the Sun. So, wow. I mean, this is a very, I thought it was raining, sorry. This is a really to the point reading, and very much talking about optimism. This, we see the child here facing the sun, facing the light, basking in the sun, naked on a pony. Woohoo! So the advice here is just to tap into your guides. Remember, first of all, remember the times when you have been fulfilled and happy, when you have felt supported, when you have felt abundance and the time to play and the time to enjoy good food and camaraderie and friends to play with. And the King of Wands is the professional man. With the Sun there, that's empowerment. And I think that if we tap into, and interesting that these 2 cards show children. So hold on a second here. So another message is we need to allow the inner child to play. We need to stay tapped in and allow ourselves to play. So remembering a time when you were small, when you felt, whether you were little or not at the time, where you felt that kind of innocence, you felt that complete engagement, absorption in the fun that you're having. And the Nine of Cups is the wish card, regardless. It's still, they're saying, the things that they're doing are adding to the standard meanings. And the standard meaning of that Nine of Cups is that's the wish card. So it's that self satisfaction. And it's also just, I'm getting things my way. I can have what I want. And it says that we need to bring these things into our adult life and even into our professional life, that we can tap into our adult creativity to include these things and to continue to build memories and good times with friends. And the sun there just says this then empowers us. It takes us into a more optimistic frame of mind. It makes us feel like, we're all grown up. But I mean, all three of these have children on them. That we are all grown up and professional. We're creative. We have great, tremendous skills of mastery. This is a king, not a knight or a queen or a page. It's the king. We have the ultimate in creativity at our disposal. We can create life the way we want. We are empowered to do that. And the key message here is we must attend to the inner child. Attend to that pure part of us that knew what we were, obsessed with, and what we loved and what we loved to do. And yeah, wow. Okay. Good, short, succinct little reading. Yeah, I mean, I got no problem with it. The problem I have is just the dearth of information, of additional information. So wonderful it would be to have, so we have Pietro Aligo and then the artwork. So Aligo surely is the one that had the concept, and I would like to know more about him, because I think there are other decks. I'm opening my my catalog of all my decks right now to see. I want to look him up because he seems to be listed as the conceptual person, and perhaps he wrote those tiny little blurbs at the beginning and end. And I'm going to look again here. Oh well, never mind. Usually LS decks have, nope, see, that's all on the front. This one says printed in October 2020. And, all right, I guess I didn't look at that on this deck. I tried to shoot a different deck before this and it really didn't work, so I've got a little bit of confusion going on about what I've done and what I haven't done. So I'm looking up Pietro Aligo. Okay. We have Tarot, the New Vision. Okay, find all. So the first one I have is the After Tarot. Okay. Then we have, hold on, the G-Word Romani Oracle cards, and it says edited by Pietro Aligo. Then we have Tarot of the New Vision, and then Universal Fantasy Tarot, which I don't think I've unboxed yet. And he's listed, I've got him listed as artist, so that's confusing to me. But anyway, yeah, very, very interesting stuff with LS, and I wish there was more information here. It could very well be that if you get the full-sized version of this deck, there will be additional information. But as for this one, you get bare minimum. Still, if you are a practiced reader, I think with your basic knowledge of the Waite-Smith deck and the Waite-Smith imagery, you'd have no trouble with this. And again, I love adding to the collection decks that just kind of tweak the perspective a little bit. It does help. It does help, and it's informative. And the images that came out here certainly added something else. The sun, not so much. The king, not so much. But these two certainly had something that added something to the reading. So yes, I would recommend it. Thanks for hanging out, you guys. If you like this, please hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't done that already. There's a wish list down below, and if you purchase me a deck off of that list, I will read for you on my unboxing. If you want to, you can even include a specific question in a note from your Amazon note. Give me your name and a question, and I'll read for you. That's a deal. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, you guys. I will see you on Mondays and Fridays for unboxings, and on Wednesdays for live stream readings for the collective. Until I see you again, this is Luna. Blessed be.